I don't cry when it rains no more, or I get dirt on my shoes. I don't mind climbing 8 more floors, 'cause these stairs are all heading to you. I don't wait for tomorrow's sunshine when I feel it today. But when it's cold in the dead of winter, remember that snow melts away. One more cold drink, one more roll, one more dance before the doors get closed. Please remember, enjoy the show. Let's get happy before we get old. We don't need plans or a fancy agenda. Well, let's just see where it goes. We got no care for the way people stare at the dust and the dirt on our clothes. Hey, my friend, we'll never say
Hey everybody, come on to the Cajun Cooking Experience. This is Spuddy here. Man, we got a live one tonight. We're cooking a little chicken stew. Everybody loves the chicken stew, but you wouldn't believe how many ways I found chicken stew being cooked in this world. Going back in old newspapers, going back in recipes, just going out there and looking on Google. We cook our chicken stew very uniquely because we make a roux. It wasn't until the 60s when I actually saw a roux started popping into chicken stew. Doesn't mean it wasn't cooked. Remember, a lot of newspapers out here, they weren't writing about this. So when you get to New Orleans and you get to outside the country, away from the country, and you get into the cities, they're cooking stew totally different. We'll talk about that later. Hey, Mildred. Oh, Darren, yeah, hell yeah, we're cooking something good. What you say, Lucy? So what we're going to do tonight, I'm going to do this one a little different. I'm going to mix up some of the stuff that I've read and some of the stuff I've done in the past. I'm going to get a little more in depth with my flavor of this chicken stew. So it's going to take me a little time, and it's a little time consuming what I'm going to do, but I think it's going to work out all right. So y'all seen me before. You make a stew or you're stewing. We're going to start off with stewing. I've got my chicken on the side. I've got chicken legs. What we're going to do is I'm going to brown those chicken legs and then put them on the side. Then I'm going to bring in my seasoning, and I'm going to cook that seasoning down really well before I actually bring a little flour in, and then go ahead and then bring my water in. I've got some roux I made on the side. A lot of times when I do a gumbo, one of the things I'll do when I'm cooking a big gumbo is I'll go ahead and make a roux early, and I'll explain that in a little bit, but I got to get this chicken on. Let's start cooking this chicken. And what I've done, I've seasoned this chicken, hey, Jace, with salt, pepper, and I added a little flour to it. That flour, as I'm browning this chicken, is going to help build a little roux down here. And if you go look at old recipes, this is one of the things that they would have done. Is taking that chicken, added a little flour on the top with some salt and pepper, and then come here and brown this chicken like this. This would help cook it. But a lot of times when I'm cooking my gumbo, if I'm cooking a really big gumbo, I'm not talking about those small gumbo. I can make the roux and then add everything into it. Let's say I'm making a 40-gallon gumbo. I mean, a 40-quart gumbo. So it's a pretty big gumbo. Sometimes a 60-quart gumbo. Instead of trying to make a roux and then add water in, I'll make the roux 2 or 3 days ahead of time. And what I do, you're talking about maybe 4 or 5 blocks of lard that I'm making this roux with. So it's a pretty big roux. And then as I'm cooking my gumbo, and I can boil my turkey necks, I can make my stock, I can have this water boiling, I can boil more and do it. I can boil everything, and when everything's ready, take the roux and bring it into this gumbo and whip it in. That's another way of doing it. I call it my backyard way. It gives you a lot of control over your thickness of your gumbo. If you've never done it before, try it. I'll tell you this, you can make a roux ahead of time. You can make a roux the day before, 2 days before, a week before. Leave it on the stove. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have a potted light, don't leave it on a potted light. Don't put the onions in. Whatever you do, if you put the onions in, you've got about 4 days and you're going to start growing penicillin. So what we're gonna do right now, we're just gonna go ahead and brown this chicken. This is gonna be a little longer way to do it tonight, but I think it's gonna be a better chicken stew. Now, my old way of doing it, I would have sat here and made a roux, and I probably, and when I used to cook it in the restaurant and cook a chicken stew, what I would do is I would go ahead and take that chicken stew. I'd bake the chicken in the oven. And then I would bring the chicken out so the chicken's all cooked. Put the chicken on the side, all ready to add into my gravy, into my stew. And then once I did that, once I brought that chicken in, I had that baked chicken, that fat from that chicken, I would actually go ahead and dump that fat into my stew. One day I was cooking that chicken stew and Miss Gracie Doomer, she says, boss man, don't you ever throw that fat away. You put that in your stew. And boy, did it make a difference. So what we're doing right now, as we're browning this chicken, we're actually bringing in a little fat into this down here. Because this fat is going to melt off of this chicken. Some of this chicken fat's going to go into this pot and help us build a little roux later. Now, if you have I'm doing legs tonight. I like the legs. I'm pretty cool. If you don't like legs, you like thighs, I wouldn't do it with breast unless you really like no taste on your chicken. I really wouldn't do the breast. But I guess if you want a healthier chicken stew, if there's such a thing, then go ahead and do the chicken breast. The dark meat's always going to give you more flavor. And you can see down in the pot, you can see this chicken starting to brown already. Now I'm like, hey, Jill. So I've got to make sure that this chicken doesn't burn while it's browning. So what I've done also, I took two legs. When I was making my stock, I boiled those two legs on the side. That's the meat I deboned off of it. So this is some chicken meat that I deboned. I'll put that in way at the end, okay? Let's lose it down here. I'm well camouflaged over here. Denise, what's going on? Man, good to see everybody with me tonight. Now this is a big old leg here. That'd have been one. This is the kind of thing that you bake. And then when I make my chicken stew for the restaurant, what I do it two ways. I would take and I bake my chicken on the side so I can give everybody a whole piece of chicken. And I would put chicken thigh meat into the stew so you had loose chicken in it. When you got some chicken stew over here, when we had the restaurant open, man, you had chicken stew. You had meat in your plate. Hey, Francis, you had meat in your plate. They didn't have to wish that they had some meat in their chicken stew, okay? Okay. And this is the hardest part right here. I just want to get a good browning on this chicken right now. Add a little stock in. Woo! Let's get it on. And all that stuff that was sticking at the bottom, I'm helping it work off the bottom. This is where a lot of your flavor from. Where I am, we call those drumsticks. Where I am, we call them chicken legs. Because we used to tell my daddy he had chicken legs. Hey, Patty, one of my favorites, love chicken stew. Me too, Patty. Man, look, you can't beat a good chicken stew. And when we cook a chicken stew, that was one of our best sellers. It's a good comfort food. There's so many ways to do it. And believe it or not, there's very, very few recipes out there. Look up old recipes in newspapers. Very few recipes that do not have tomatoes in their chicken stew. Now, what I would do, I would make a chicken stew. And when I make it in a restaurant, I didn't add any tomatoes. We're going to add a little rotel tonight. And the reason I didn't add tomatoes, because whatever chicken stew was left over, I made gumbo with the next day. And you talk about made a good gumbo. You ever have a chicken stew left over? Make your gumbo with it the next day. If you're tired of eating the chicken stew, one of the best gumbos you're ever going to eat. Oh, yeah. We're getting some good green meat down at the bottom of this thing. Let's go ahead and take a peek down in the bottom of the pot. See what's happening. See that good browning on that chicken? Man, this is what's happening right now. This is what it's all about. Hey, Jason. Hey, brother. We got those mushrooms. Check out my new setup back here, man. Y'all can see all my seasonings back here. Y'all can see everything that's going to go in here. Because I'm always looking away so y'all can see what I'm doing better. What's up, Hollywood? Now, one of the oldest evidence of stews that they have around goes back to 5,000 BC, and that was the Japanese. And they would have made it probably with seafood, they believe. It's believed that they would have made their stews with seafood. Whoo! Man, it's hot over this pot right now. Now you think about a chicken. Winner, chicken stew dinner. You got that right, Michael. Hey, Trey. You think about this chicken. Chicken started off as a wild little animal. Well, yeah, Brian, better known as Creed. Mom makes chicken pie. Oh, hell yeah. Well, you know, see, a lot of times you see chicken dumplings with chicken stew. You see that a lot. They'll make a chicken stew and bring the dumplings in. Saw a lot of recipes like that. But chicken started off as this little bitty wild bird. That chicken would have been tough. Now, one of the things, my dad used to always tell me this, they had a hen that quit laying, or some people walk, how about them Saints 2-game winning streak? Go ahead, Hollywood. Some people go walk in Lafayette Park, and they get attacked by roosters, where the rooster just like to jump up and bite them on the butt. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, that rooster would have jumped on somebody back in my daddy's days. That was Chicken Stew Sunday. That was guaranteed you'll have a chicken stew. Well, yeah, Trevor. Okay, I'm gonna start taking some of this chicken out. Now look. Hey, Michael. So look, the chicken we doing today, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not the chicken that my mama would have been cooking with. She'd have made a chicken stew. The chicken was or you'd have killed in the yard. That would have been a tougher chicken. And when you see that, when you see him cooking a chicken stew back in the old days, they came here and they sauteing this chicken for hours, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that's because that old chicken was tough. Today, it doesn't take long to get this chicken tender, except for this big old baseball bat I got right here. But it's gonna get better when it gets into the gravy. Hey, Jackie, love me some chicken stew. You got that right, Jackie. So now we've got a lot of green meat at the bottom of that pot. Let's take a look at the bottom. Okay, you see all that green meat down there? Man, that ain't nothing but flavor. That's where your flavor's at. Now we're gonna start picking that flavor up with these onions. I'm gonna bring my shallot bottoms in right now so they can cook along with my onions. And that'll start cooking. And as that onions start releasing some water and some liquid, you know what's gonna happen? Them onions are gonna start picking this green meat off the bottom of the pot. And now we're starting to pick up some flavor off of the bottom of this pot. Now they found proof of chicken stews being made, or stews anyway being made, on some clay tablets and caves and all that. Stuff that goes back 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. So they got evidence that stew is being made. And so man's been making stew for as long as he's had fire probably. Hey, Rochelle. Oh, yeah, baby, you got to love that chicken stew. I don't think there's anybody, especially in the river parishes, but especially in the South Louisiana, that doesn't love a good chicken stew. Hey, Mary. Thank you, Mary. So now, we help this thing. What's going on, Rochelle? One of my favorite people to go see when I go to St. James Hospital. To visit. All right, so we'll cook these onions down good. So we've already got the flavor of this chicken in here. Now we're gonna start getting this flavor of browning these onions. You're gonna start bringing, we notice we're laying those flavors. This is gonna be awesome. And I've never taken the time to actually cook a chicken stew this way before. I've never taken the time because I was always make the gravy, make the roux, just boil some water, make a roux, put your seasoning in and all that, and then bring some chicken in. Because in cooking in a restaurant business, you don't have time to do all these processes. You got the roll. But over here at 10:30, people ready to eat. And I've served lunches and batches as early as 9:30. People ready to eat. All right. Oh, Michelle, you got that smell-o-vision, huh? Wait, somebody said they can't hear. Everybody's hearing me okay, right? Oh yeah, my mic's on, so everybody should hear good. Now tonight, I got a little something, it's the holiday season. I bought me some Woodford Reserve, and I got it on the rocks with a little splash of water. You gotta have that little holiday season drink, right? What you say, Mike? Oh man, this is getting good. So now, I'm bringing my liquid in. Just start bringing the stuff off the bottom. We're starting to get all that creamy off the bottom. I know, Mike. Dino, nothing like a good old chicken stew, brother. And then at the bottom of that pot, you're starting to see that color come in. Then we're starting to pick up all this stuff off the bottom of this pot. Yes, indeed. Hey, Debbie. Man, we had a good potato salad this weekend. But she ain't making no potato salad. If anybody wants a good side dish to go with chicken stew, potato salad always works. Nick, bring us some at Ocala in the big house tomorrow. You got it, brother. You got it. Oh, hell yeah. Trey, I'm giving food Christmas presents this year. Was going to do a chicken noodle soup. Now you have me thinking chicken stew. Man, don't give nobody chicken noodle soup. Give them a chicken stew. Give them something with some hook in it. Like, there it is. I like to make fresh garlic bread, dip in my chicken stew. Hey, Glenn, I like that. That sounds good. I love some chicken stew and potato salad. Oh, hell yeah. Now we're bringing that stock in. And the way I made my stock, I had the ends of my parsley. I had all my seasoning, the pieces of seasoning that instead of throwing them away, I put a carrot in there. And I just made a good bouillon stock with a couple pieces of chicken. Raw chicken stew, one of my favorites. You gotta be, oh yeah, partner, we got it rocking over here. Oh, hell. Coach Ivana says, I love some chicken stew and potato salad. Okay. Well, bring me a little garlic in. Gotta have garlic in it. You got to have the garlic. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring my celery in. Get this stuff all cooking down. Man, all that gravy at the bottom of that pot is just about all out. And one thing a black iron pot, it's going to give you some good flavor at the bottom of this pot, but you better keep it moving. But if you don't, you burn it real easy. In other words, you got to know what the hell you're doing. All right. And every time I bring that little stock in, I'm getting a little more color in this water. So I'm getting a good broth in this thing. Let's bring it down. Let's bring the sky cam down to the bottom, I think. Oh, Let's how about bringing it up to me? I forgot to come on back. Man, I'm so into the spot. I forgot to bring the camera back. Okay. Now, this is definitely something you don't have to do. But if you have some undoing or you have some tasso, I like that. I just like a little hint of smoke in it. What I did, I cut the undoing small, so I wouldn't have big pieces in it. And it's more just to give it a little hint of smoke. I don't want this thing to be smoky. I want that little hint of smoke. Jill made a red bean gumbo today. Man, if it came out like that one we had on that show last week, you got one hell of a red bean gumbo. I ate red bean gumbo for about 4 days straight, and every day it got better. That red bean gumbo was slamming. Now it had something. One of the recipes I found, it was a medieval stew. And that was nothing. I've never found anything like this, but it was weird. But they would have eggs and herbs in the stew. No roux. Like I said, a lot of these chicken stews did not have roux. In ancient Rome, they made it with spices like pepper and cumin. And then herbs like mint and rue. I don't know what rue is, R-U-E. Thyme, and then dates, and then wine and honey. This was their idea of a stew back then. That shows you how much it's changed. And if you go into old newspapers and you just go back into the 30s, 40s, 50s, or early teens of 1900s, you're gonna see different ways to cook stuff. And people, you start getting to where they have all these people cooking or giving recipes. And this is a chicken stew, it's comfort food. We're gonna give you a recipe, and you shake your head, going like, "Ooh, man, y'all really don't eat this, right?" Because some of these things were like, you can't be eating that. You got to be killing me. Oh, yeah, Donald. You killing it, brother. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to see if taking these steps like this is going to actually help me put more flavor in my stew. And I think it will. Now, in medieval Europe, where they had a heavy French influence, they had spices and techniques. Like they would, it was a rich, thick chicken stew with bread and eggs in it. So if you go look up a just go Google medieval chicken stew, and you'll see it. They're going to serve it over bread. Kind of weird. And there's eggs in it, boiled eggs. Now, boiled eggs I can get. That's not bad. Now tonight, a normal person serves their chicken stew over rice, right? I'm not normal. I'm gonna serve mine over pasta. I'm reading that, and then somebody goes, "Hey, what about they had a pasta chicken stew?" And I went, "Hell, that sounds like a pastelaya almost." And I said, "Wait a minute, I can serve mine over pasta." Bishop Bernard, happy birthday! Merry Christmas, my brother. Thank you, Katie. All right. Oh, man. Take a peek in the bottom of this pot now. And you can see the little gravy builder. You see look at it. Oh, man. It's so much flavor and the colors in here. And we've only just begun. Now, I'm going to before I start bringing this, what I want to do now is time to add a little flour. Leftover stew on bread. For a long time, that's the only way I would eat stews, but actually eat it on bread, especially French bread or sliced bread. It didn't matter. And I would just cover that thing. You eat the bread that you put the stew on, then you take another piece of bread and you dip and scrape out what's ever left over in your plate. And that was some good stuff. Well, we're going to wing this. Now I'm going to add a little flour in here. This is going to help thicken it, And also start building the stew. Well, I just say bones. And this whole process I'm doing right now is actually stewing. We make a stew where we make a roux. You know, first you make a roux, then you make a stew. This is the stewing process. I will have to make a trip over there. It's been a long time, my brother. You're right. It's Christmas time. Don't forget my Christmas present when you come. All right. Now, take a look at the bottom of that pot. You can see it's starting to stick down here. You're getting a little good brown color. So you're actually building a roux here. Now I'm gonna bring my mushrooms in. I'm getting ready to add this water in here. I lost. What meat did you add? I didn't add any meat yet, Trey. No, I didn't put any meat yet. Oh, andouille. The meat I have in here is andouille. And that's just to give it a little smoky flavor. That's all. Bring me a Marlene, eh? Okay, now I'm going to bring my water in. Not much. Start bringing a little water in so we can start bringing this stuff off the bottom, okay? Wade, looking good. Will you have some andouille available early next week? Man, if I run out of andouille, y'all going to see me dancing up and down Highway 20. We have a lot of andouille. We also have the... Let me get back to me. I keep forgetting. We also have the Madeleines, the homemade ham. These are homemade hams that I make. They come with instructions. It's the best damn ham you're ever going to eat. We have a lot of these available. I think I have about 30 left, if I'm not mistaken. You can cook that for you. This is very, very popular item in Vacherie. It's more like a back Vacherie dish. And when Mr. Becknell, who had the meat market, died, people kept asking me, will you start making it? I had no idea what I was doing. This is over 20 years ago. And I started making it as a very popular product. It's been really good. But I will have plenty andouille early next week. I will be open next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 10 to 4. Wednesday, I'll probably close at 2. But Monday and Tuesday, definitely stay in the 4. Francis, got mine. Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, yeah, man, this is really looking good. Now, while we're getting this back to boil, I'm going to go ahead and bring these bell peppers in. I want them to start cooking in there, too. As y'all know, I like a lot of bell peppers in my stews and my gravies. Now, look at the color. Look at the color that's already building in here. You've already got a good color, a good foundation for your stew like this. This is what I was talking about building that foundation and layering these flavors. Now we just got to get this back to a boil. Jeff, can you send me the recipe, please? Jeff, just keep reminding me and I sure will. It'll have to be after Christmas. I'm not going to tell you right now. I really don't have time to write it because I have to write it up. And we just got so much going on right now. It's been pretty busy, which is a blessing. Oh, Harvey, thank you, brother. They say this the season. And by the time I get to the bottom of that glass, I'll be jolly. Oh, hell yeah. This is looking good. Now we just wait for this. Now, 18 difference between stew and gumbo. Donald, good question. So gumbo is going to be more like a soup. A gumbo is not going to be as thick. You know, so some people like a real thin gumbo. I actually like a soup. Some people like their gumbo a little thicker. The stew is going to be a lot thicker than the gumbo. Twice. If you have, you know, it's going to be very thick. So when you pour it over rice, we make a gumbo, we serve it in a bowl, and we add rice to it. This will be served in a plate, and you'll cover the rice with the stew. It's going to be thicker. It's going to have more body to it, more whoop to it. That's why the next day, if you have some left over, you can actually go ahead, add some water to it, put you some andouille and sausage in it, maybe a little chicken, should have the chicken already and make you a gumbo. You can actually turn that to a gumbo. And once it gets boiling, you can keep adding the water till you thin it out the way you want. So gumbo is going to be more like a soup. Stew is going to be thick. It's going to have more body to it. Thank you, Jeff. Oh, Glenn. Woodford Reserve on the rocks with a little splash of water. And I'm going to tell you what, it's tasting damn good. Oh, man. Now, you see, I'm passing the bottom of this pot right now. I want to make sure there's nothing sticking in here, because that's what you don't want. And that's what you want to do right now. Boiling this is going to bring anything that's sticking at the bottom, you want to make sure it comes up right now. And let's see. We're going to bring in something very good, Vassar tradition, is we bring butter beans in our stew. So, can of butter beans, my buddy Tim Becknell went by for me. And my buddy went out his way to get this. And I'll bring a little rotel in it. I like a little rotel in my chicken stew. If I was turning this into a gumbo, I probably wouldn't add the rotel. But again, that's a personal preference. Unless I was going to turn this into a seafood gumbo, and then in that case, I may just go ahead and add no, don't worry about the tomatoes. And now this chicken that I actually deboned earlier, I'm going to bring it in. So I want it to shred apart. That's okay. Oh, you're welcome, Donald. And get this going. Then I'm going to come back in there. I want to add a little bit more stock, because once I get it boiling again, I'm going to start adding some root to this. Did you ever bring liver and gizzard to your chicken stew? Michael, I never did. For me, I probably wouldn't add the livers, but I would definitely add the gizzards. And I'd put the gizzards way in the beginning, because you have to boil those gizzards really long time. So gizzards, to me, especially if it had some good like duck gizzards, some good pulled gizzards, go awesome in this chicken stew. Livers, you have to be careful. I would put them in there, just have to be careful that you don't overpower it. But I haven't done it, but I definitely would. And I didn't do it tonight, for those who want to know. Oh yeah, Glenn, that's some good stuff. But once I get this back to a boil, I'm going to start bringing in that roux. Now, just to show you, this is the roux I have in the bottom of this pot. I can tell you right now, I can take this roux and I can leave it right here in this table. And I can leave it here all week. And you'd have no problem with this roux. It's not going to go bad. Hey, Claude. And what the roux is going to do, it's not only going to thicken it, it's going to give it that nutty flavor. It's going to give it that hearty flavor. And this is what you want. Once I get the roux in, I'm going to start bringing these chicken legs in. Or some people say, where they're from, they call them drumsticks. That's the problem when I boil chicken. I cook chicken and debone, I eat half of the damn thing. So in 1893, in the Times of Democrat, New Orleans paper, this was really a weird chicken stew. This goes to show you how they cook. Now, this is 1893, so this is a long time ago. Covered, so you would take 2 spring chickens and put it in a saucepan. Then you would cover them with water, add a tablespoon apart of salt, and then let it boil. When it's halfway done, slice 3 raw potatoes and drop them in. Let it cook until it's done, and then season it with butter, pepper, butter, and flour, and stir it till the gravy is smooth. You see, they come in way at the end with some flour in their gravy, and they work that flour in until it gets real smooth. It sounds like it's going to be not too brown of a stew, maybe more like a little light beige stew. But that was interesting. Nobody out here would probably eat that. But back then, you see a lot of these recipes, this is the way they cook. Go look up some old newspapers, look up some old gumbo recipes. They'll blow your mind. Because basically, whatever they had laying around, it was what was going in that gumbo. They could just go to Rouse's and buy something, right? Make sure I got my fire all the way up and get this thing burning. Now, something I will do, this is another thing that's optional. I like to throw a little potatoes in my stew, in my chicken stew. I like potatoes in it. You don't have to. It will help thicken it up. But I just like it. Whenever I make a stew, I like to add potatoes to it. Again, that's a personal preference. And this is my boneless thigh meat. This is what I'll add in after a while too. That boneless thigh meat is going to give me some boneless chicken, and it's going to give me some bone-in chicken. Boneless chicken, to those who don't like to fight the bone. I love, I mean, the dog don't, he can't eat this after I'm finished. I'm taking everything off that bone. How dark of a roux do you want for a chicken stew? Ben, more like a light, I'm going to show you. This is my color brown. So it's got a good brown to it. It's not dark brown. I don't like a real dark gravy with my chicken stew. Creep, how about eggs? I didn't boil any eggs tonight because I'm short on eggs. But some good boiled eggs would really go good in this chicken stew. Now, you get that back to a boil. Now, in the 1967 Townes Picayune, this was weird. A chicken stew Greek style. First time I've seen this, but this was in the New Orleans paper. Remember, so a lot of writing about this kind of stuff in the New Orleans papers. It has condensed tomato soup in it. It has golden raisins, clove, nutmeg, and there's some other stuff like the onions, bell peppers, and all that, okay? Then they put the chicken and salt in the sauce and bake it for an hour and a half. When it's done, they take the chicken out, and then they take that sauce and they boil it. And they boil it hard until it reduces. When it reduces and it gets thick, it reduces about half, they put the chicken back in and it's ready to eat. Something different. I think that must have been a promotion for the chicken, for the tomato soup. It had to be. Hell, we eat almost anything if it's cooked right. Hell, we eat it if it's not cooked right. Gina, love my eggs in the stew. Yeah, well, I didn't have it. I didn't have any. And today I was so darn busy that what I got done because I just didn't have time to do anything else. And believe me, I'm not complaining. That's a good thing, being busy. Chicken stew for the weekend. Oh, hell yeah, Sharon. And I'm enjoying this little Christmas drink. Okay, here we go. We're starting to get a little ball going. Now, here's the roux. Nice little brown color. Remember, I've already built some good brown color in here. Now, one of the things you asked about the roux, okay? How much roux, how dark you like it? The darker the roux, the more roux you're going to have to bring in here to thicken this gravy. The lighter the roux, the less roux you have to bring in to thicken this gravy. Because the darker you make it, you need more to get thickening because it loses thickening power. But it gives you, the darker it is, it gives you that nutty flavor. Okay. I bet you make an awesome Cajun chicken pot pie. Mike, never made one before, but I tell you what, I'll give it hell. And this is what I do when I make my big gumbos. This is exactly how I bring my roux in. I'm doing this right here, same way. If you're cooking the roux the same day, make sure it cools off before you try this. If you put a hot roux in here, you're gonna wind up with burns all over your face, and God knows where else. And you want to get this water boiling so that roux will dissolve too. Now we're starting to get a little thickness in here. My little short arms can't reach across that pot no more. Okay, here we go. And remember, this is going to be a lot better tomorrow. Oh, Jason, that bread's over here. Don't worry, brother. That bread's coming. Uh-oh. Had a little casualty there. A little roux got away from me. Oh, Kirk, what's happening, brother? Now, I'll start bringing some of this gravy into my pot and see if I can get the rest of this roux out of this pot. This is the some heavy engineering going on here. Okay, now we're gonna bring the rest of this roux into this pot. And how much I had? I had a half a block of lard, and I made a roux with that. And being I made the roux in this pot, as soon as that roux started getting a pretty nice brown to it, I shut it off and kept stirring it, and then it came out this perfect color. Okay. Ooh, man. Now, all the newspapers I looked at, I finally in the 60s in Bastrop, Louisiana, I found a stew with a roux in it. And the first thing they said, make a dark roux. Because as you get out towards West Louisiana, their roux are a lot darker than what we do over here. You get to New Orleans, a lot of blonde roux. You get over here, we got that dark brown. You start getting West Louisiana, they've got that dark, intense color. Now I'm gonna bring some potatoes in. Let that start cooking in here. And my shallot tops. Now I have to start bringing some seasoning in. A little salt. A little red pepper. A little black pepper. And y'all, the sugar and the sugar cane is so good that it's blowing out the stalks. So we're gonna give it a little loving now. Got to give the sugar cane farmers a little loving. Ooh, we're starting to get a nice little thickness in here now. Now, if you happen to run out of roux, your stew's not thick enough, one or two things you can do. You can just let it keep cooking, it'll reduce by itself. Or you can bring in a little cornstarch. If you bring in a little cornstarch, that'll help tighten it up. If you don't want to bring any more roux in. That's one or two ways you can do it. And I've done it both ways. Sometimes I just like to let it sit there and just put it on a little bloop and just let it slowly cook that water out. What it's doing is giving me a better stew also. Now I'm gonna start bringing my legs back in. Michael said I'll add beans. Because it's gonna take a little time for these legs to cook in here. And this is what I like. I like meat. I like to put chicken on the bone in the stew. You get more flavor to me. More you get like a more intense flavor in here because you're getting that marrow out the bones. Now you really want to make a good stew, but it's going to take you time. You're gonna have to start way ahead and let this boil for a while. You have to, and you stop. Old hen. Old hen will give you a more intense flavor. My mom always used hens when she made gumbo, but it takes time. Oh, Norris, always good seeing you. You was just talking chicken stew, man. You ought to be over here getting some chicken stew. Now you remember, Mike? We already added some butter beans. And I'm also gonna bring at this time. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my boneless chicken in. So you see, adding the boneless chicken in keeps everybody happy. Those who don't like the bone, they can have their boneless chicken. And I want to get a little taste of this. Just for seasoning. I'm just checking it before that French bread goes scuba diving in there. We're just gonna go get a little taste and check out seasoning. Oh, man, this thing is coming out right. Look, I don't even have the chicken flavor in it yet. This thing's coming out right. Need a little more salt. My pepper's pretty good right now. One of the things I'm gonna add. Oh, Breland. Thank you, brother. That chicken stew is always good. You got that right. Now it's time. I think it's time to take a peek back in that pot. And look at all the colors in that pot. Woo, woo. But you know, going back and looking at the old newspapers, even into the 90s and the early 2000s, a lot of the recipes for chicken stew still had tomatoes in it. Just about all of them had tomatoes in it. Very seldom I found one without tomatoes. And they were all cooked different than we cooked. But as you can see, I didn't find any local newspapers. I didn't find St. James Parish newspaper or St. John Parish or St. Charles Parish newspapers. They weren't in the search. And I know if you cooking in the river parishes, guarantee you, first you make a roux. Oh, hell yeah. All I'm gonna say is, ho the meat. Oh man, we've got a good thickness here. Just to show you, you can see it. You see it's got a nice little consistency. And okay, give it time for another taste. Ooh. The piquant, really, really good. Now, if you're serving this over rice, keep in mind, you're serving over this rice, if you don't put enough salt in your rice, this may taste bland on your rice. So you've got to make that adjustment when you're cooking your rice. A lot of times, if you just boil, especially if you boil your rice and that rice has no flavor, guess what? You may put that chicken stew, it may have awesome flavor, but the rice kind of takes away from the season. So be careful with that. Oh, Joe, what's happening? Thank you, brother. All right. Man, it's time to scuba dive this French bread. Oh, Lord. I think I remember my grandma putting clove in her stew. Brian, I saw a lot of recipes with clove in it. That's not unusual. Oh, man. Oh. Ease on down. Oh, man. Something I always did like is bread with stew. So this is really getting good. Sop and bread is as good as it gets. You got that right, Michael. Ooh. Oh. And one of the ways I like to serve it, when you got the bread like this, you just serve it over the bread like that. And you let that bread soak it up. Ooh, that's better than rice. That's better than rice. Okay, you want to make sure you're not getting any sticking at the bottom of this pot while this chicken's cooking. So now, two things are going on. We're letting this stew thicken up, and we're letting this chicken cook, okay? Oh, hell yeah. And let the potato. Now, as these potatoes boil, they're also going to throw a little, because the starches, they'll release the starches, and we got these Yukon Golds, so they're heavy, there's a lot of starch in these. They're going to help thicken this, tighten this gravy up too. A lot of stews in the past that you saw, especially when people were making like a potato stew or mulligan stew or Irish stew, the potatoes, they would tip the potatoes in and they would smash them along the pot. So it would help thicken this gravy. That's another option. Now, while that chicken's cooking, we're going to put a little bit of this stew over this little bit of pasta I have here. And it gives me a chance to check those potatoes. While it's getting a little cool to it, now, I do have a very good River Parish chili recipe if you want it. Hell yeah. Hell, we'll try it. You know I want to doctor it up now, Jason. But yeah, I want it. Oh, Lord. Man. Hey, Michelle. Merry Christmas to you, baby. Ooh. Potatoes are halfway done. This is why I never sit down and eat with anybody. Because I'm always full when this is over. Yeah, Jason, I know where it's at. I mean, I know where it's from. I know exactly where it's from. Ooh. I love this old pasta. Yeah. I feel good. Like I knew that I would. Man, this is some good stuff. And when you serve it in a bowl like this, I've got enough pecan, got enough salt for tonight. You gotta remember, tomorrow, this thing is gonna get, when it sets in the cooler tonight, it's gonna get pretty intense. This flavor is gonna set in here, so definitely would not add any more seasoning to this. Do you have any goldfish recipes? I don't, Anthony, I sure don't. I've never actually fooled with goldfish. Oh, and Timmy Becknell, my idol, just told me to turn the fire down. Don't worry, that's why I keep stirring it, Timmy. You see, I keep stirring to check that. To check to make sure we're not sticking. That's the professional part of my career. Knowing what the hell I'm doing. You can have it with a little pasta. You can dip a little bread. Man, if you don't like this, remember what I said earlier. Just let it bloop bloop like this. This will be good. I put you hard in this show trying to keep the show under an hour, but in real life, I would have this slow cooking, probably for about another half hour at least. Oh, yeah. Time to add the parsley. Yeah, one of the biggest things, Janine. No, I don't sell it, but we could. Now, one of the things I want to do I want to check these legs. And I want to see how they're coming along. Once these legs are done, this chicken stew is going to be over. Janine, just come on by. We're going to take care of you. All right. You see, it's starting to come off the bone. It's just about ready. Another 5 minutes. Like I said, chicken doesn't take long to cook now. These chickens are young that they're killing, and they don't take long. I like that. Brother, wait a minute. I got to put that one on the screen. Man, Michael has the best thing. You should sell t-shirts that say, let it bloop bloop. I like that. All right, y'all. Well, there's our chicken stew. Open. I'll be open 10 to 4, Janine. Today through Saturday and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Woo! So that's it. This is our chicken stew. Get creative with this. Do it any way you like. You can make it where you just add the stew in. I went through a lot of processes tonight, but if you take your time with this stew, let your chicken brown a little bit, build you some flavors in the beginning, that foundation that you're going to build, you hit that and you do it right, I promise you, this stew is going to be the best stew you ever made. Timmy, no problem. Buddy, just for you, I would do that. Andrew, South Central Indiana, how much notice do you need to go ahead and schedule Cajun cooking experience for 2 people? Hey, Buddy and I will be spending 4 weeks in South Louisiana mid-April. I need at least a week ahead of time, but the sooner you book it, the better, because April's pretty full for me right now. That's the springtime. We get a lot of people coming. We have several activities planned, including Chapelage Basin Swamp Tour and hanging out with the Crawfish Farm and running traps. Sardine Sack and Ball. Okay, we're looking other potentials, eating lots of delicious Cajun food. Not only do you get to eat a lot of Cajun food, but over here, when you're going to cook it, you're going to eat what you cook. And you're going to think you're Cajun. And I should have started talking a little bit like me after you finish. So yeah, the sooner y'all can set a date, you kind of know that week is, get in touch with me, email me, call me, it doesn't matter. And we can peg a date down. Because if you wait too long into next year, you may miss it. Because April gets to be a pretty busy month for the Cajun cooking experience. So, all right, everybody. That is going to be a great trip. You got that right, Michael. That's going to be an awesome trip. Y'all going to really enjoy it. Ben, Merry Christmas, brother. To everybody. Because next Wednesday, I will not go on. New Year's Eve, I plan on going on. But next Wednesday, I figure a lot of people doing Christmas Eve stuff. So I'm not going to go on. But everybody, Merry Christmas. And we're going to see y'all. I hope, if everything goes right, to go on for New Year's Eve, because I want to do a smothered cabbage and 2 things. I do smothered cabbage, so because it's New Year's tradition, and my cabbage will be done for New Year's if I cook it that night, New Year's Eve with y'all. Same to you, Coach. So thank y'all. Good night. God bless y'all. Love y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Merry Christmas, everybody.